divide where there was one person more in charge than the other or anything like that? Divide one person more in charge.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that was, I mean, because sometimes that can be a good thing, where someone knows how to solve the task, but other times it can be the person's kind of overpowering others. So which one do you think it was, or the rest of you guys? Yeah, so it's good in a way when there's someone who's taking control and kind of putting ideas across. I mean, did you feel at any point you were trying to put your hand up, trying to put something across, and it kind of wasn't listened to? Yeah? I mean, I know certain people were putting their hands up, like yourself, and it was kind of ignored because other people were discussing their ideas. And so obviously I won't ask individuals to say, what did you think about that, but you can see how sometimes, other people in the organisation, for example, you might have seen that someone else is trying to say something, but you're busy talking. So the person busy talking might not realise it, but obviously other people are like, yeah, he's kind of trying to put a point across. So you can see how, getting that equal involvement, it can be a good thing in a way, because everyone's discussing things, but at the same time, someone's got, the other one's got the ball rolling with the whole task, how to do it. Sometimes it is good to have that person there.
Did you learn anything new? Did you learn anything about sort of communication or how you interact with others or something?
You don't listen, so you don't listen.
We talked that once, didn't we?
The game doesn't work without the ball very well at all.
Did you enjoy the decision making that it had by one person having the ball? So it was sort of like, we thought of it more as an empowerment sort of thing, so that you had one person that was sort of taking the lead by that bit. Do people enjoy having it like that, or do you think there's a different sort of thing?
Any opinions whatsoever? Feel free to talk. I mean, the idea is we just want to basically get your opinion on what the game was like to answer these questions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? You might have even stood there bored out of your brain thinking, what's the point of this? You might have been really confused by the rules and not got it from the start before, I'm not going to bother, or you might have tried to understand the game.
I mean, did you enjoy it when you were holding the ball that you were the only person able to give any instructions, to communicate to anyone else? You were in power, you could control the next move, you could control what was going to happen.
I think at the beginning we didn't really grasp that because everybody was just talking. But at the end I think everybody did because we started just talking and that.
And that was possibly a mistake by us, I think. When we tested the game once between ourselves, I think, and I think in a larger, within a larger group, I think restricting communication like that was possibly too difficult. But as you began to work out how to do it, you did follow the rules more, I think, and restrict your conversation.
Yeah, I mean, did you notice, we noticed a complete change from the start of the activity to the end. Obviously, like Stephen says, the rules were a bit, obviously, difficult to understand for a lot of people, and when you're working in such a big circle, everyone's got to kind of get the gist of it. But, I mean, in a way, in an organisation, you're going to get told this one needs to be done. You're not going to fully understand it straight away, otherwise the person giving the instructions might as well just tell you.
I think some people were happy to not have the ball, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got it just quickly give it away, because they were just more happy to follow the instructions and do it there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, you could see a lot of people were trying to take the lead from other people. Like you say, you'd give them the ball and you'd be like, what do you want me to do, kind of thing. They wouldn't want to speak up for themselves, which, naturally is going to happen. And then people have got to play their part within the organisation to, make everything work.
Was there a bit in the task where you sort of saw a change in sort of how you can complete the task or anything like that?
You told us how to do it.
We thought we might have to say that, to be honest with you. Cause, I mean, it took, when we practiced it, it was Steve pointed that out, that it was probably a lot easier to do it that way. So we started doing it the same way as you guys. And then we realised we got one person in the right spot, and you're like, but how are we going to get that guy there? So.
Right, so basically, just talking on the 60s, I mean, obviously we, as far as we see, we cover them well within the task, but, I mean, just asking you guys again, if I can get a bit of feedback, just to see, where do you guys think, for example, engaging? I mean, do you think those you were well engaged for that task? Yeah, and just get your feedback. I mean, what do you think? Could we have done something better?
It was obvious to say people were engaged in the task by doing it, but what made you feel engaged as a team? What made it work?
I mean, just explain. I mean, engaging. It's effective training, giving you all the opportunity to basically connect to the organisation. Yeah, so.
It's like whenever you got the ball, you had to engage with activity.
Yeah.
Within the organisation.
Yeah, so you feel like you're part of the organisation and you're making things happen by doing that. Yeah. Right. In terms of educating, I mean, again, like I said, training can help educate, increase knowledge and awareness of individuals and teams. So I mean, within that, obviously, there's not a lot of education we can give you within 2 minutes of explaining the rules. But whilst you were in that little group, I mean, do you think you guys were educated in how to work together as a team, or not?
You could say that you share knowledge from like other people, that like telling you what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's one.
Yeah. Do you think individuals share their own knowledge better than others?
Probably, yeah.
Right. Also, in terms of enhancing, I mean, training can help to enhance and improve the skills and competence of individuals and teams within an organisation. So from a game like that, if you were to come up with something similar in the future, you would probably think, God forbid, but if you would come up with something similar, do you think you could probably think more strategically rather than just going in and thinking, get each person to one letter? Yeah? I mean, what do you think you would do differently next time, for example?
Could have left the ball on the floor more and then discuss what we were going to do then do instead of giving the ball to different people and trying first.
Yeah. I mean, did you notice probably 90% of things we were saying and Gavin was saying was, you guys can't talk if you've got the ball, or there's someone trying to talk, or stop talking, you haven't got the ball. I mean, the simple instructions, but, when you play the game, it's obviously difficult, because you're just going to say what you think, and you'll be like, oh, I've got the ball. But, within an organisation, there's going to be certain rules you've got to stick to. And you find that, I mean, like Paul says, these guys tried it without the ball, and it didn't work, because everyone was just talking over each other. Yeah.
I think the hammer way it was good that when people were talking about the ball, because it was like shows how organisations would work, like by communication. Like, say they say, oh, you're not allowed to talk about this, but we think, oh, there'd be a way of doing it between each other. It's helped the organisation as a whole.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know where it is on the wall, but I mean, within one of the domains, one of the values is creativity, which Richard mentioned. It does kind of know your creativity doing this task, because you might have a certain idea, but you've got to wait for the ball to get to you to actually express the idea. And like some people found, they didn't have a chance to actually express their idea at all, because they didn't have a chance. And like you say, yeah, it allows more creativity, like, it's better if we do it this way. In terms of empowering, I mean, that should be pretty straightforward. I mean, how do you think you guys will empower you in that task?
You got the ball and you got to give instructions.
It's pretty simple, isn't it? I mean, that's obviously the one which is kind of a bit obvious. Energize, again, like I said, I don't have to tell you guys, pretty obvious. Get in there, get active, a task which you can actually get involved in rather than you just sat there scribbling away. And also in mind, this kind of training can be an effective manner of helping individuals to see things in a different way. I mean, do you think that applied in you guys? Do you think you now see that task in a different way to what you did before? Yeah, in what way?
Make plan better and communicate before you just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we basically set aside 20 minutes for this whole task. You could have spent 15 minutes planning it and deciding what you're going to do, and you could have completed it within 5 minutes, which is pretty much what you did. I mean, within less than 5 minutes, you got from this is what we need to do to, it was completed. And this is what we think. I mean, I'm not going to read through the whole of it, but basically from the 60s, this is what we hope that the task will give you guys, and thankfully you have reacted and you've given us a lot of this feedback which is on it. And basically, we start with engaging. Obviously everyone was involved in the task, so naturally you're going to be involved from the very start. You could say obviously some people within the circle weren't really getting involved, which is natural. I mean, people are going to have different personalities. You can have some people who are going to stand out from the rest and be very talkative, others are going to be very quiet. Not necessarily criticism either way, but that's just the way it works within an organisation. You can't have everyone engaged at the same time, but if you're one of the ones